I'm Shiva, and this is the Hollywood Dish. Celebrity gossip can be hot, spicy, sweet, and even sour. Tune in each week as I give you the latest celebrity gossip. Get ready to dish. Hi everyone, I'm your host Jan Shiva, and you are watching the Hollywood Dish. So much celebrity news, such little time. So let's go ahead and start our show. He is one of the most talented and eligible bachelors in the world, and she is a sexy supermodel. Together, they are super hot. While they may not be saying I do right now, they are making a beautiful baby together. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk are expecting their first child. The gorgeous Victoria's Secret model is in her second trimester. But pregnancy is not slowing her down. She was on the runway in Paris last week for the annual Victoria's Secret fashion show, rocking the lingerie like it was nothing. While her growing belly bump was strategically covered up on the runway, the soon-to-be mother glowed on the pink carpet. She wore a black and white striped dress, and her baby bump was clearly visible. The couple first began dating last year in April. While they never publicly talked about their relationship, they were often spotted by the paparazzi showing crazy PDA. There were breakup rumors earlier this year, but those were quickly squashed and put to rest after they made their first red carpet appearance together in May. By June, sources say that Bradley and Irina had been seriously talking about their future, which is now clearly evident for the world to see. Congratulations to the happy couple. In other couples news, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick are finally back together. Here is why Kourtney is giving Scott another chance. After a year and a half apart, the couple has decided to try to make it work again. And this time around, there might actually be wedding bells in their future. Sources say that Kourtney and Scott have quietly been back together for a few months and spending a lot of time as a family with their 3 children. Scott is loving how sexy and in shape Kourtney has been looking lately, but there are much deeper reasons to why the parents to Mason, Penelope, and Rain have decided to make their relationship work again. It's no secret that Scott has gone to rehab several times. Insiders say that Scott was able to win Kourtney back by changing his ways. Sources say, quote, Scott is over the partying. He got sick of it and decided to clean up his act. Even during the tough times, their love for each other never went away. Kourtney was there for Scott as he struggled with the loss of his parents. For now, Scott and Kourtney still live in separate houses. There are no wedding plans so far, but it's definitely good to see these two back together. Out of all of the Kardashian relationships, it looks like this is the one that's going to go the distance. It just goes to show you that what is meant to be will always come back around. Kim Kardashian West has been through it. From a traumatizing robbery to dealing with Kanye's breakdown, she has definitely had an extremely tough couple of months. But she is staying strong and focusing on what matters and what is important in life, which is her family. Kim's last 60 days have been traumatic to say the least. In Paris on October 3rd, the mom of two was robbed at gunpoint at the apartment Kanye owned. She was tied up and forced into the bathtub while thieves made off with at least $10 million in jewelry, including a new diamond ring from Kanye. Kanye suddenly stopped his New York concert after he heard what happened to his wife. Kim flew back to the States, and the paparazzi was waiting for them outside their NYC apartment. Insiders say that Kim was emotionally damaged and was grateful that her children weren't with her during the robbery. Kim went into seclusion but surfaced again at Kanye's concert on April 25th and again on the 27th. These were good signs that she was ready to move on from her ordeal. But then came November 21st. Kim was scheduled to be at the Angel Ball in New York with her family to honor her late father, but instead she had to get on a plane headed back for Los Angeles. She rushed to be by Kanye's side after he canceled the rest of his St. Pablo tour and was hospitalized for extreme mental exhaustion. Since Kim's robbery nightmare up until now, she's been silent on social media. She's been spending a lot of time at home with her family. Sources say that they threw a small party at their house on the day that Kanye was released from the hospital. Kim has made it clear that family is what is most important to her, and she is standing by her husband's side. Happy times are definitely ahead for the couple. Their son, Saint, turned 1 on December 5th, and I'm sure Kim will return to Instagram, Snapchat, and all of the rest of her social media followers very soon. A ton of rumors are now flying about Kim and Kanye living apart and the strain his breakdown is putting on their relationship. Let's take a look at what's really going on. They were once a very lighthearted and happy couple, but now there are rumors that they are living apart and isolated from each other and the world. After Kanye's breakdown due to extreme exhaustion, headlines are swirling around Kim K. West and her husband Kanye ever since his release from the UCLA Medical Center after more than a week-long hospitalization. Only time will tell exactly what the couple's next move will be. But one thing is for certain, they are not walking away from each other anytime soon. A representative for Kim issued this statement saying, quote, "Kim will of course always stay by Kanye's side and support him and help him through it all. Kanye will continue outpatient treatment until he is fully recovered. As for Kim, with so much on her plate, being overwhelmed is expected. Sources say that she has lost weight due to the stress of having to deal first with her Paris robbery and now with this incident with Kanye. But despite rumors, she is reported to be doing okay and she is being very strong for her children. Kim loves Kanye and she is not leaving him." Haters are gonna hate, and they are coming out in full force. Amy Schumer is getting body shamed over Barbie, Madonna is being accused of getting butt implants, and Twitter trolls are saying Lady Gaga got a new face. These are the rumors rocking the internet. Amy Schumer is in talks to play Barbie for a new movie role, but not everyone has been so supportive. After it was announced last week, Twitter trolls immediately fat-shamed the comedian. One Twitter user wrote, quote, "Better lose a lot of weight for that role." Another wrote, "If Barbie became obese and heinous to men, Amy Schumer is perfect." Whoa! Ease up a little, haters. Well, the joke's on them because according to the movie storyline, Schumer's Barbie leaves Toyland because she doesn't quite fit the mold. Her character later returns to teach the town that real beauty is on the inside. Apparently, it is a lesson that many people still have yet to learn. In Miami, Madonna's onstage performance with Ariana Grande sparked butt implant rumors. But sources say that is not the case. The Material Girl is just proud of her assets and has always flashed the goods whenever she can. New York, Los Angeles, or Miami, her behind has always been out and proud. Meanwhile, fans had a million Twitter questions and responses about Lady Gaga's look after she appeared on the X Factor UK. One Twitter troll wrote, quote, "She has a completely different face. Who is this imposter?" In 2013, the singer said in a radio interview with Howard Stern that she's never gone under the knife to transform her look, but she has gone through a phase where she was obsessed with getting facial injections. Who hasn't gotten a little carried away, Gaga? And good news is, it always goes away after a year or so. Let's talk about music's biggest night, because the Grammy nominations are out. When it comes to Grammy nominations, you never know what to expect, and this year is no exception. Get ready for the battle of the divas, because Beyoncé and Adele are going head to head. It's bound to be quite the showdown. These two are battling it out in 3 major categories, most notably Album of the Year. Despite being one of the top Grammy winners of all time, Beyoncé has never won Album of the Year. However, Adele walked away with the award in 2012. Plus, Adele's album 25 became the best-selling album of 2015, about a month after its release date, which was too late for the 2015 Grammy consideration, bringing us to the current Adele versus Beyoncé situation. Beyoncé's Lemonade also debuted at #1 when it was released this past April, but it still only sold a fraction of what Adele's album sold. But seriously, Beyoncé is doing just fine. In fact, she's leading the pack with 9 Grammy nominations. Of course, there is still a chance that neither diva will win Album of the Year. The award could go to Drake or Justin Bieber, both of whom were surprisingly snubbed in other category. Drake's song One Dance was a summer hit, but it didn't get a nomination for Song of the Year. Justin's chart topper, Sorry, also failed to make the cut. Justin Timberlake's upbeat tune Can't Stop the Feeling, which was featured on the movie Trolls, also missed out on getting a Song of the Year nomination. But the song was nominated in the Best Song Written for Visual Media category. Then there's Kanye's Life of Pablo that was snubbed for Album of the Year, but he still received 8 nominations in other categories. Will someone just give him an award? Kanye can't handle any more setbacks this year, you guys. Forbes magazine just released its list of highest paid musicians of 2016, and it's no shocker that Taylor Swift tops the list with $170 million. Now that the obvious is out of the way, let's get down to the salary shockers. In the #2 spot is a band that's not even together anymore. Though they may have veered off path, the boys of One Direction were top earners in 2016. The top earning boy band of all time pulled in $110 million thanks to their most recent tour. Rihanna comes in at number 5 with $75 million. She trumps Beyonce, who makes the list with a measly $54 million in the bank. But Beyonce still beats out her hubby by a small margin. Jay-Z only earned $53.5 million. P. Diddy also made the Forbes list for this year. He comes in at number 10 with $62 million. But he didn't earn that money from making music. Most of his Benjamins comes from Ciroc. And even though Puffy beat out his ex J-Lo by $20 million, Jenny is still far from the block. She earned $39.5 million this year. All in all, I'd say it was a pretty good year for music. Oh, baby! Can you believe that Britney Spears just turned 35 on December 2nd? Am I the only one who feels really, really old? At just 10 years old, she blew the world away with her singing ability on Star Search. She was already a mini icon in the making while singing alongside her future boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, on the Mickey Mouse Club. It feels like just yesterday that her first album debuted at number 1. When she was 17, Britney's racy Rolling Stone cover, in which she was photographed in a bra and short shorts, was considered scandalous at the time, especially since she was underage. Britney famously said she wanted to remain a virgin until marriage. The scrutiny and pressure was extra tough while she was dating Justin Timberlake. We all know that along the way, Britney has had some ups and downs in life and in love. But 2016 has been Britney's comeback year. Her Planet Hollywood Vegas residency and hot new music have put her back on top, and she is better than ever. 15 years ago, Ocean's 11, starring George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, and Matt Damon, hit theaters. At the time, it was one of the most star-studded movies audiences have ever seen. But Matt Damon almost missed out. His role was supposed to go to Mark Wahlberg. Mark had committed to doing Planet of the Apes instead, and so the role went to Matt. Which meant that Matt had to endure George Clooney's famous pranks and jokes. In spite of the off-screen shenanigans, the film was a huge success, and 2 more Ocean's movies followed. The films did more than just make money, they bonded the cast of friends for life. Julia and George recently did Money Monster together. George and Brad starred together in the Coen brothers film Burn After Reading, and George and Matt starred in The Monuments Men. Reportedly, Matt will even have a small role in the new spin-off Ocean's 8. This time around, it will be a female-led cast, starring Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, and Rihanna. It sounds interesting, but when did Rihanna become an actress? You've gotta be kidding me. There have been some shocking celebrity hookups over the years. Here is a look at some of the lesser known and slightly odd Hollywood couples. Back in 2001, Ryan Reynolds was totally attracted to She's All That star Rachel Lee Cook. Reportedly, Ryan flew to London to surprise his then-girlfriend on the set of a film she was making, but his romantic ways weren't enough to keep their relationship from fizzling. Ryan's wife, Blake Lively, also has a surprising fling in her past. Before she married Ryan, Blake and Leonardo DiCaprio were spotted together in 2011 on a yacht during the Cannes Film Festival. However, 5 months later, they had called it quits. Westworld star Tandy Newton loves to gush about her husband, Oliver Parker, now, but before he came along, there was Brad Pitt. They met on the set of Interview with the Vampire and hit it off for a time. And long before Jenna Dewan added Tatum to her last name, she was a backup dancer for NSYNC. She caught the eye of the one and only Justin Timberlake. She claims those are just rumors and that he's just a friend, but they reportedly dated for a hot second after JT split from Britney. Wow, teenage me is totally jealous right now. It's been 20 years since Jerry Maguire hit the big screen. Here are a few facts that you might not have known about this iconic movie. Tom Cruise almost had someone else at hello. Winona Ryder was originally considered for the role of Dorothy, but director Cameron Crowe didn't think the chemistry between Ryder and Cruise was quite right. Renee Zellweger ultimately landed the role. Tom Cruise's role almost went to another Tom. The part of Jerry Maguire was originally written for Tom Hanks. But by the time the movie was ready to film, Hanks was past the age of Jerry's character. Cuba Gooding Jr. had no problem landing his role as the football player Rod Tidwell. But did you know that he reportedly auditioned for the role in his birthday suit? And let's not forget about that adorable scene-stealing little boy. These days, Jonathan Lipnicki is not so little anymore. Today, he spends most of his time in the MMA ring. Just like many of his co-stars, Jonathan almost wasn't in the movie either. Jonathan shared in a recent interview that the film was originally shot with another child actor for the first 2 weeks. But it wasn't working out, so it was recast and Jonathan took over the role. The end of the year is a time for lists, but one list that celebrities do not want to be on is Forbes' most overpaid actors of 2016. Bradley Cooper snuck in at the bottom thanks to box office disappointments like Joy. Next up, it's Julia Roberts, who was the only woman to make the list. Her ensemble cast film Mother's Day underperformed, as did the thriller Julia did with George Clooney, Money Monster. Speaking of gorgeous George, he also made the list due to the box office setbacks he made, like Hail Caesar. But before you think that it's just the flops that place these actors on the list, let me tell you, that is not always the case. Even so-called successes can be tricky as far as earnings are concerned. Although The Revenant made over $500 million worldwide, Leonardo DiCaprio landed on the list because his super high payday messed up his average. And Channing Tatum surprisingly landed on the top 3 on the Forbes list, while Magic Mike XXL was a Make It Rain success. Jupiter Ascending didn't help to raise his average. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp's tough year continues. He is the #1 overpaid actor of 2016. This is actually the second year in a row that Johnny has taken the top spot. I'd say it's all Tim Burton's fault. And that's a wrap on our show for tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tell me what you think about your favorite celebrities. I hope you have an entertaining and newsworthy week. Good night, and I'll see you next time. I'm Shiva, and this is the Hollywood Dish. Celebrity gossip can be hot
spicy, sweet, and even sour. Tune in each week as I give you the latest celebrity gossip. Get ready to dish.